It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bar, back the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, he says, for what he has, he says, for what he has, he says, for what he has, he says that, for what he has, he says, for what he has, he says that, for what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black. Yes, he destroy black. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left the light in this bitch. I'm finna hit the shop in this shit.
Fuck up, fuck up, fuck up, fuck up.
Yeah, well. Gotta get a piece of my yeah, well. Yeah, well. Gotta get a piece of my.
Your feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am.
Group of you together, group of you together, group of you together, group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
My eye. Plus, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? 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 Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply. I think very. I think
to eat.
Dance with me. Oh yeah. Hey, dance with me. Hey, dance with me. Hey, dance with me. Oh yeah, everybody.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Don't know me
What's all that?
I don't mean to be out of line.
What's all that? What's all that noise? What's all that noise? Oh, that's just Dad.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Your shit. Get your hands off of me, shit!
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck. The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
I think we OD. I think we OD. I think we OD.
My word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you. My word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. My word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. That's the difference when you're my.
Used to snort cocaine, now I beam for the check, yeah.
Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loop juice, and pulls up in the dude. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loop juice, and pulls up in the dude. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm coming.
Like I said, you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance, let's work it out. Aye, nigga. Yeah. Aye, nigga. Aye, nigga. Aye, nigga.
Lean and buck, lean and lean and buck, lean, buck, lean.
To the east. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only galactic daddy-o welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. I guess that's my motherfucking cue. Might have to take a break to go get my cigar, but I will start. Now, let me tell you. Let me start with blasphemous action. Going into this holiday season, I should have known they might let me down. I should have known that the man was going to let me down. So thinking I was going to take a giant step, I wasn't able to take the giant step that I thought I could take. Because the man held me down. All I asked, man, just have it available. So this is the part of the show where I bring out the finest nectar in the land. No, it's not that nectar. Well, damn, this is a bottle of barbecue sauce. No, I'm just bullshit. I think luckily my wife, it didn't bust. So I'm gonna have to let it percolate. But I was lucky today. I had 2 of these at home. And I was only able to acquire 5 when in my mind, I had for the holiday coming up, a case. A case. But they cut me short because they did not have the finest, only 5 bottles in the store. I was lucky. I didn't even know I had this one. I think it came up because I don't remember seeing it in there yesterday. I took all the ones that was in there. So Christmas spirit gave it to me. Anyway, this one's probably not going to be very good. I'm going to give my man, Bill, I'm going to give him props. So tonight's coming all the way from Kalamazoo, Michigan, we have Bell's Oberon Eclipse. It is 6.3 in alcoholic condition. Brewed and bottled, and they call it Comstock, but that's nothing. When the sun sets early, you got to make your own sunshine. A Barbaron Clips brings together warm notes of bright orange and cozy coronator to make the perfect post-summer. So this is a winter brew. It's not very cold. Only Americans like cold beer, though. So pop them if you got them. Finally success. Oh. And the finest glass and glassware. Ooh, look at the colors. Ooh. First smell. What is that? Strong citrus notes. Toast, everybody out there. Toast. Lift my glass to y'all. Whenever you watch this, toast to you. As George Clinton says, a toast to the booty. I'll drink to that. And this is a Michigan beer, and the guy that I learned how to make beer from Acadia Brewery, they made a beer called Whitsome, and that's this beer. I don't know who came up with it quickly, but when I was curious, and when I started not drinking, as soon as I smelled, I was like, okay, this is what he called Whitsome. So, and we still going strong with the Jungle Brothers. I did get another bag of gummies, so. But Jungle Brothers, sour apple killer. So smoke them if you want them. To the head. Well, where should I begin today? I did see Aquaman. It was pleasant. Let me get my notes out. Let me welcome everybody first before I get into it. I'm sounding a little loud. Let me turn myself down. Lorenzo, what is happening? Oh, there we go. Oh, and everything is smooth, baby. Everything is smooth. And I know Lorenzo down in the SIP.
Got to have vision.
And I know, on the Chocolate Mountain, there's only one place where we just chill, and that's called the Galactic Patio. And we only do one dance, so please join me in. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic song. And there's only one rule.
Don't touch my...
Look at that F-150, but leave it alone. And one thing everybody's here for me to do is take you. I am here to take you higher. Dr. Sinister. And I know you definitely got to have
Vision.
And I know you would join me on the Galactic Patio doing the... Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic... And there's only one rule.
Don't touch my truck.
Leave that F-150 alone, but you, like everyone else, is here so I can take you. So Lorenzo says a good hard-hitting fight between Wilder and Parker. That was on this morning. More on Parker's side. Unfortunately, Wilder had improved his boxing style. Congratulations on the win for Parker. Oh, Parker beat him. Okay, because I know that fight was on this morning. I wasn't even up. I don't think I got up until noon, so I wasn't even up. So Parker beat him. Fortunately, Wilder has improved his boxing skill. Congratulations on the win for Parker. Parker beat him. Okay, I haven't even looked it up. But that fight had to be this morning, like 10, 11 o'clock, wasn't it? Maybe 10 o'clock my time, I think, because I remember seeing it last night, because last night they was encouraging people to buy it last night, but I think that came on early. Okay, I have to check it out. Somebody will break it down on YouTube. Thanks for telling me, but yeah, I saw that, but I'm a night owl. I ain't get up. Oh, I know I can just run my mouth about. Man, they got all the deals going. They got all the deals. And, I got the curly Neil top, and now I got the shorts. I got the shorts, and what are these motherfuckers? And these motherfuckers was normally $100. $100 normally, and these is 2 seasons ago, about 2 seasons ago. So when I bought the top was cheaper than these. When I bought that curly Neil top, it was... The curly Neil top was like 30. I got it for 30 some or high 20s. These cost more at the time. I think these were still like at 60. Then I saw them at 50. And even with what I had off, it was like maybe got it down to about 45. So I knew my brother-in-law, and I think I mentioned this. My brother-in-law wanted this particular hat, and I left it downstairs. I don't even know if she wrapped it yet, but I left it downstairs. I meant to show it. It has the M, and it's a snapback, but he had mentioned that he liked that one, so I saw it, and I got that for him. But it's 2, you get one and you get one free. And I end up right now, these mugs was 30. They had dropped them down to 30, and with half off, I got these for $15. So I'm gonna play pickleball. I like playing pickleball in this kind of shit too, because nobody else does it. Nobody else wears, jerseys and shit like this to play pickleball. So I'm gonna be on it. But for $15, that shit is more than worth it. I mean, one thing about them, their hats, I'm kind of torn between the people that make the Negro League hats. They're called Rings and Crowns. Your hats, I don't know, because I got 7/3/8 and one fit good, one is a little tight. Hats, I don't know. But the clothes, I have no problem with the clothes. Yeah, this is pro quality. You know, it really is. I mean, this is like really, I mean, all this is stitched. You dig? All that is stitched on there. And this is like that tight mesh that really in the summertime is really great to wear. Even, you know, if I play pickleball in the wintertime. So $15. They had the white ones too, and I might go back and get them. Because they definitely had a pair of the white ones. So I almost bought them too, but it's like buying for other folks. And went out to the outlet, got about 3 miles of walking in, and just at the outlet. And so finished up everything. Wasn't able to get what my daughter wanted. Got her one thing she wanted. Well, a couple things, but you know, taking her to the game is one of her Christmas presents too. So, but got her a couple. The one thing we wanted to get her sold out, but I think I can get them before school starts. So she doesn't have to be back. I think until the 3rd, 4th, somewhere in there. So you know, she'll be cool with what we got her. She'll be cool with it, and got my wife's stuff. And so you know, it's we can only do what we can do. And so, but we're gonna do a lot of cooking the next 2 days. When I get up in the morning to get prepared, because I got to go pick up my son too. So I'm gonna scoop him up. I'm gonna scoop him up, and then we're gonna head to the stadium from there. And yeah, so it'll be an early morning for us. I think my friend's gonna get down there around 11ish. So we're gonna kind of time it. I might get down there 10:30ish. So yeah, so it's gonna be fun. Get down there, you know, chill, walk around. And so try to meet him. I should have called him, but I'll call him in the morning to make sure. But I think he said he's gonna get down there 11ish. So I'm gonna try to get down there around 10:15ish or so. So shoot down there. And if I gotta park in the ramp's not bad. And I can park anywhere. You know, I got a handicap parking, so I can park anywhere for 4 hours. So that's about the time of the game. So if I have to park on the street, I can. If I need to pay, I'll pay. I can handle it either way. So, but yeah, let me break down Aquaman. Which is in, you know, I took notes. You know, I didn't write notes. I text my wife. Oh, okay. Oh, let me read the text. All right. What's interesting, you know, when the movie starts, the movie, you know, starts off with him telling his role and how he's taken over being the king and all the, you know, how he's accomplishing everything. And then he finally gets to, you know, the council of all the, you know, Atlantis, you know, groups. And again, I think it was 7 or 9, but what was it? What did you? So yeah, so you know, again, the council, you know, it was almost made you think of the Supreme Court, where you know he made so many rules, but you know there's someone that could check his power. All the different kingdoms had their own councilship, if you dig. So, and you know, there was one scene where he rides a motorcycle, and you know he rides his motorcycle and he sticks his tongue out, you know, and that tongue interpretation can be interpreted a few different ways. But he rides his motorcycle and definitely sticks his tongue out. And this is very early in the movie, you know, he's like spinning out in some mud, you know. And so you kind of show, you know, even him fighting monsters and, you know, being Aquaman and his force. The action in the movie is good. Yeah, the action in the movie is actually pretty good. The coloring, again, I only go see it in whatever it's called, Imagine, whatever that shit's called, Atomus, whatever you call that kind of sound. I only go in there where the sound is all behind me, and you know the best picture. So, it's shot beautifully. It's shot beautifully. Now, you know, Mantis again, you know, Mantis is trying to get his suit fixed because, you know, when Aquaman beat him, remember he broke the Mantis costume that gave him powers, but Mantis got away. Now, one thing that I think Sly and I had talked about this maybe 3 years ago, But at one point, if you remember, it was, and maybe it was even, man, this might have been even 4 years ago. But it was a time where they was talking about the ice was melting and the ice was melting red. And I think Sly and I did a show, and we again, I've broken down many times that hell would not be hot; it would be the opposite. It would be cold. And so, in this what we learn is later they want this chemical ultramanium, maybe it's called, um, but this chemical saw that it was going to destroy the Earth's ozone quicker, so they had to imprison this other basically Atlantean culture because they wouldn't stop harvesting it. So what they did is they took all that they harvested and they locked it up because there was really no way to dispose of this stuff. Mantis found out about this stuff and he stole some of this to fix the suit. And in return, Mantis also stumbles across, they're saying ice sheet melting. They stumble across some old technology. The technology attacked them because they got so close and some of the technology could still function, but it was machines. So Mantis falls into these machines. Let me go back to one thing that's interesting too is when Aquaman, and it would go back to if you understand more and Moorish law, it goes into you see a point of it where you see it's maritime law being performed by Aquaman. I mean that's an interesting point. If you see that, it's like maritime law is being enforced by Aquaman. And no matter it's monster or nothing else, there's a couple scenes the way they break it, the way they present it, and you see that. That's what it is. He's judge and jury, but it's maritime authority. So I don't know if a lot of people breaking it down would understand how to apply that. That's what you're seeing here. Total maritime authority. So I think a lot of people would miss that. What did I put here? Oh yeah. The other part, let me see. And I've got to order one of those kind. But again, and actually this is perfect because it shows this shows the trident in emotion. But in this movie, it shows you two like to apply it to this movie, there were two tridents being used. They showed the negative trident that Manus ended up getting. He took the two broken tridents together and he was able to connect with this Dark Lord. The previous civilization that wanted to harvest this liquid was put in ice. Just like, again, I was saying, years ago we did a thing on, what could melt. But again, hell would be where they would freeze you. And that's what this movie is about. And that's how they find when they get it, they stumble across the technology. All of it was frozen along with this being. So this being gives him one of the tridents. So if you say this is like four of the tridents, Aquaman has one, and then, Mantis has the double trident. Again, the story is not bad. The screenplay was okay. I mean, the flow of the movie was pretty good. Again, Mantis, he ends up finally, getting the technology, making an agreement with the Dark Lord that he's trying to break free, and he gets the use of the technology. So that part. So that part. So what we see after then is, and this gets into screenplay writing. I'm gonna say this as we get into screenplay writing. This makes one thing that becomes so the study of the trident goes into the verges and shit. It goes into the Sanskrit. The trident is that old. It goes into the Sanskrit, and this is something that other cultures has adopted, as their weapon. And so we see, the trident is in the front of the movie. The way the energy is put out. Is that the trident was like one of the almost ultimate weapons for both sides, and it showed how the trident could be used for good and evil. Another thing early in the movie is the sun. The sun was born in the ocean. Aquaman's son with is it Persephone? I don't remember her name, but with his wife, she, they had Aquaman's son, which was Aquaman Jr., whichever Aquaman's name is. He was born in the ocean. The baby was born, in the ocean. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, so right there, okay. And so, they start taking care of the son, and he finds out. Now, if those of you that remember the cartoon of Aquaman, in one of the cartoons, Aquaman has the sonar power that a dolphin has. And so in this movie, we find out that the son has the same, the son is able to communicate with the children too. The son is able to communicate, and that's what the father sees. The father sees his son able as a baby to communicate. They have some goldfish, and he's the baby's able to communicate with them. Now there's some disappointing parts leading up to this part. So we know Mantis is all built up. Now one part that if you have to see it for what it is, and I really didn't see it in the first movie because I didn't understand it. But it's the same old thing again. But it is a play on the hero twins. It's a play on the hero twins going into the underworld, because when they have to go fight, they've got to go, under the ice this time. They got to go under, there was under this ice, deep in the ice, to fight these lords and these lords' creatures. To fight Manus, they have to go, to the underworld. So it's a copy of the hero twins again. He doesn't care what, Aquaman doesn't care what anybody thinks. He needs some help in wartime, and he knows his brother's a wartime consigliere. So he releases his brother, which is nothing again other than having the hero twins. And the idea of the hero twins is that you fight together. You don't fight your brother, you fight with your brother. So you see the complete turn. The first movie is the Nikki and the Neil. The brothers fighting and shit, and you have children that be fighting and shit. This time, the brothers fight together. The brothers, the wife, the parents, they all fight, Mantis. And again, Mantis gets all the technologies and stuff, and it's really, it's not slow, not a really slow movie. Another one of the seafaring creatures or seafaring kingdoms was she looked like the Statue of Liberty, which I thought was interesting. He has to go into an area where he has to sneak into the kingdom to free something. And so he has an invisible squid suit. They give him an invisible suit, and he goes into one of the kingdoms. Oh, so when he has to break his brother out, they give him an invisible suit so he can beat everybody's ass, but they can't see him and sneak his brother out. So that's where that came out. This is an old reference that a lot of people wouldn't understand, but like it really, at some point, especially the underwater fighting and some of this, it was like you got to look this up, but Matt Helmish. It was like a copy of James Brown. Dean Martin played him, and what's his name? He played in the Fantastic Seven. I gotta think. His name will come to me because his hands end up messing up. But he's a knife thrower, and so it's a combination. Kind of it's a kind of a combination of those two characters. Matt Helm, kind of a combination of those two characters of Matt Helm. Another part would be they copied Star Wars bar. Now, how many times we gonna see all these different, interpretations of the Star Wars bar? You try to show our culture somewhere in the galaxy. It's melanated people culture because the way the music is and everything. Thank you, dear. Thank you. My lovely daughter just brought my cigar up. So, and so it's, the first thing I see is the Star Wars bar. I was like, these motherfuckers is on some bullshit. And you know me, I'm sucking on these blindies, acid blindies. You know, they don't pay me. I like these and shit. I can afford them. But acid blindies. So I thought that was some bullshit. So the Matt Helm corny-ish, you know, some of the fighting was like kind of, I don't know. That's the first thought. I was like, golly, this is some Matt Helm shit. And the copying, and not only do they copy the Star Wars bar, they copy a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, you know, the brother knows somewhere deep they can go. And I was like, okay, first Star Wars bar. Now you're throwing in a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean. So I was like, okay, you know, so those parts. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna call him Poseidon, but Aquaman's brother that they overthrew, he got his ass whooped all through the movie. That nigga got punished through the movie. Like he ended up, you know, whooping a little ass, but he took an ass whooping. Aquaman did not take near the ass whooping that twin took. But again, what you see is the hero twins working together. Oh, and the other part is Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, the brother knows where's the place. You know, everybody can hide, and they can hide from all the other Atlantis. You know, the pirates got some deep, deep cove where the pirates can go. I was like, these motherfuckers throwing Pirates of the Caribbean in this shit. Better. So, I don't know, that part, that part. So that was a little like, I looked at the screenplay as, you know, that probably suffered from the writer's strike. That's what I got out of it. I was like, okay, they put some fill in. And I'm going to say another thing that probably suffered from the writer's strike is the CGI wasn't good. Because they start off the movie with CGI and it's just not very good. That's another thing that probably suffered from the writer's strike. But yeah, he got his ass whooped. That shit was funny because every time, you know, he's engaging, he's getting pounded. That motherfucker was getting pounded. So let me see what other thing. Nazis. Yeah, so the Dark Kingdom kind of had, okay, yeah, so the Dark Kingdom that wouldn't quit mining the poison that was poisoning the earth, they were their symbolism was black and they was Nazi-ish, you know, very Nazi-ish. Yeah, Narcoritis. Narcoritis is the frozen bean that was, you know, he didn't care. He wanted to make money off that chemical. Him and his people were and it goes from, and really, if you look at it, it's freeing Satan from ice or the cold prison. That's really how you got to look at it. It's like if there was the way to stop this individual was more than likely frozen and not necessarily locked in hell. He was probably encased in ice. So that's what I got out of it. Undersea again is okay. So of course they fight. You know, they fight Manus, and you know they end up conquering Manus. They stop the Dark Lord from Narcotis. They stop. So Narcotis comes to reality, and with the Triton, Aquaman throws the Triton at the motherfucking, blows the motherfucker to smithereens. So you know, Narcotis was only came around for like 10 minutes, and then he got hit with the Triton, and it blew him up. So, you know, once Narcotics got blew up, Manus didn't have a chance. And they end up, you know, overpowering Manus. And you don't know if Manus, like it's like Aquaman could have helped Manus survive, but Manus was like, fuck you. And then you see Manus kind of dodge and go a different way. So we know Manus survived, but Aquaman's beat him again. And they captured, but I'll say Aquaman's wife kicks ass. Nicole Kidman, the mother, kicks ass. Because when Manus first gets there and the train goes out, it is Nicole Kidman jump on that motherfucker. So the action to me was cool. I enjoyed the action. I'll say that. I did enjoy the action, but going back to things that was probably affected by the screenwriters was the Star Wars bar. Oh, and Jabba the Hutt. They had a character that was nothing but Jabba the Hutt. He was a sea looking Jabba the Hutt. And I'm like, now that was really sloppy writing. They got a character that is Jabba the Hutt. Now, if you saw that part, I'm like, wow. They've got a character like Jabba the Hutt. So not only do you steal the Star Wars bar, you turn like you show the Star Wars bar and then you turn to the back of the bar and there's Jabba the Hutt, just like Star Wars. Just like Star Wars. So I thought that was kind of like, I thought that was like that was kind of bogus. All right, Jeffrey Lane. Let's say what's that? Oh, let's say because Jeffrey Lane's been here. Oh, let's get him. Okay, Jeffrey Lane, what is happening? Thank you for joining. Oh, and let me say at the end, it's funny, they always want to throw that New Zealand dance in. They always want to throw that in. They teaching the baby to dance, Aquaman and the daddy. Yeah, I'm just like, man, come on. We see that bullshit too much. Well, let's go. And I know Jeffrey Lane's got
to have vision.
And Jeffrey Lane likes to get loose. He says, Time Lord, take me up to the galactic patio so we can sing. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic slog. We are doing the cosmic slog, baby, and there's only one rule.
Don't touch my...
Leave that F-150 alone, and you are here like everyone else so I can take you. So I can take you higher, baby. PJ Allen. And he's someone who I always know takes care of his bitches.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
And he definitely has.
Got to have vision.
And he knows he has a suite on the galactic patio so all his people can get down. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the and he knows there's only one rule because he rides with me. Bring me down, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride. Bring me down, sweet chariot, stop and doing it on the chocolate mountain. and he's here like everyone else too. So I can take you higher, baby, higher. Okay, what'd you get here? It was Trash and Rebel Moon. The CGI was shit. I agree. That was the first thing my wife said. Is like the CGI was trash. And again, like my man says, like Quantum says, it was trash on purpose. When the movie starts, that's the first thing you see is trash CGI. Definitely. Aquaman 2 and global warming, basically a world economic. Yeah, I would agree there. Rebel Moon was shit too. Hollywood is over. I didn't finish Rebel Moon. I didn't finish it. I'll start watching. I didn't finish it. AI, these beta simp dudes. Yeah, I didn't finish Rebel Moon. I did start watching it though. I started watching a little bit of it. Hollywood has destroyed itself from within. What's the end of the DC universe and the start of the new DC Comics movies are rebooting after this movie. Aquaman to Black Panther. Was it Aquaman? Both dog shit. It was also crazy because DC Comics did an animated movie about the story of Aquaman, and his hands was cut off, and Aquaman got his hands cut off because his brother took away his son. It was done way better. Just wait until you see the Rebel Moon, Jesus Christ. Okay. I love when villains survive and get to come back. Well, I like when bad guys win every once in a while. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt, man. I'm telling you, man. It's the bar scene from Star Wars, just like Jabba the Hutt is in it. And that, to me, That's writer strike. Because I'm like, you dudes just copied the Star Wars. The Star Wars. I mean, it was like obvious they copied that shit. That dance is tired. No, it's not tired. We be getting down. The directors knew there wasn't going to be Aquaman 2 and the franchise was ending, so he really didn't care about the film. It's just what happened with Shazam. They just didn't care. To be honest, Shazam 2 and Suicide Squad, Flash shouldn't have been made. Total waste. WB wasted $1 billion, all those films, and they bombed. That's a good point. Hey, James Gant, what is happening? And I know this late you got to have.
Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got.
That's me. I am. I know you got to have.
Got to have vision.
But I'm also.
Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got to be.
That is a fact. And please join me on the Galactic. Would you like to dance with me? And there's only one rule.
Don't touch my.
Leave that F-150 alone. And you're here like anyone else for me to take you. Let me see. Rebel Moon is a copy of Star Wars. Did I see Iron Claw? I did not. Let me write that down. Iron Claw. I'll have to check that one out. I'll tell you what looks good coming out is The Beekeeper. Jason Stratham is doing a movie called The Beekeeper. That one looked pretty good. I hadn't seen and we might go see Willy Wonka on Christmas. I don't know. As long as it's in a big screen, I don't really care. I don't want to see. I'm not going to see The Color Purple though. I refuse to see that shit. I definitely not gonna see. I do want to see Godzilla and King Kong though. That one. Godzilla -1 is great, except one scene in the movie. Have you seen Magical Negroes? Nah, what is that on? I haven't seen it though. I haven't seen that yet. What is that on? What is that even on? Is that in the movies? I thought it was streaming. Is that streaming or is that in the movies? I don't know. What time it is? Because I really ain't gonna be on super late tonight. But yeah, that was my main thing coming on tonight was to break down the movie. The movie was good. You know, I enjoyed it. Me and my family enjoyed it. Let's see. It's about the Edith's family. Okay. Marvel, what is 2 seasons out of it right now, too? Marvel, what if it's gets 2 seasons? Okay. You seen it says it's about the Van Erich's family. Okay. One or 2 seasons out of it right now. Oh, okay. It's funny. Like that gets into what's that movie with Will Smith? You know, he's the golfer and shit. It kind of touches into that. Well, Will Smith's the magical Negro. It gets into the magical Negro, and a bunch of people. I think Brother Panic used to break that down too because that's what Will Smith is. In that golfing movie, he's the out of nowhere. Morgan Freeman is another one. The magical Negro shows up. So this is probably a little bit of both. Them saying that like I have so many emotions because no doubt that there was people in the future that put us in the condition we in right now. I mean, there was interference of the times. I mean, there's monies, but there's monies and technologies. The war ended, but the war was still like the other surface wars kind of started too. And, you left these unprotected people that the laws was passed for, and then you change, by force, some ways change the laws. And so that's, this is, so what it really predicates to is the people that was able to get along, some was able to pass, and then others was able to just, bootlick is what they call it, bootlick. Everything the European says, what's his name? Uncle Ruckers, the Uncle Ruckers theorem. The Uncle Ruckus theorem. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about a way that we have to delicately go around them because they've shown that they will annihilate us, or they'll kill enough of us to break down whatever we're trying to do. It's like I try to. Now it's interesting with my wife because my wife is very well educated, and trying to hit her with how they gave cancer to the president in Venezuela, and then she's breaking down to me like how this is impossible to give to someone. This is what she's telling me. She's like, well, this is impossible. Now she says, what could be inside of you? Maybe there are certain things that can trigger the cancers in you, but you just can't give that to someone. But it seems like now, okay, maybe I'm about to bring what I'm about to bring up. Maybe two different things because when you talking about the Iceman in Detroit, that cat that was killing everybody, the big blind dude, the Iceman, he was talking about where he could just stick somebody and they would be poisoned. He just give them a shot. They wouldn't even know they had a shot. So I go back to that and saying there's so many different ways that I think they do have the technology that could be caused in someone. And it's talked about, you hear it if you study enough. I mean, what we really don't study enough is poison. I mean, so many people were poisoned in the old world that it's just unbelievable. I mean, you could almost say, like, especially in Europe, it was a poisoning. I don't even know. I guess if you looked at the alchemists, they were some poisoned motherfuckers. Just like you had doctors trying to cure people, you had a bunch of people poisoning somebody in their way. And it wasn't until, arsenic was able to show that, these people started being murdered. That was the only thing that slowed poisoning down is they was able to prove that people was, somebody poisoned this person. And that's what slowed that down. And what they say, even in the Kennedy, report, when they were saying like, why would the person have a heart attack? And it's like the drug that was in it would try to mask the heart attack. It's like the drug they gave him would show that he didn't have a heart attack. It kind of masked the heart attack. Like, who would do that? They're trying to say, does it make sense? So that's my little 2 cents on that part. Time, like, what are the best movies of 23 in your opinion? I think the best movie is Killer of the Flower Moon of what I saw. Story wise, I think it should carry. I don't know if these racists is gonna let it be, win anything. It definitely for costumes, it should win hands down. Despite Napoleon, I think still Killer of the Flower Moon and the costuming, I think it was better than Napoleon. I really do. I think it was better. The story I think was better than Napoleon. Napoleon's story was all over. That was one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna tell you though, Shelf. A lot of people ain't gonna understand Shelf. A lot of people. Gipper, if you watching, watch Shelf. That's why you erased my comment because I broke down Shelf. I wasn't trying to get people to come to my station, baby. I just wanted to hear your opinion of it. That's all. But I wanted to do my opinion on my show first before I made a comment. I noticed you erased my comment, but I don't really care, baby. But that's another movie that a great screenplay. And Aquaman. Okay, one part of Aquaman I got to get out there is it's the alien contact. I think Jeffrey alluded to it as well. It's the alien contact. We got to tell them that we're here. None of the nations really want to put that out there, but Aquaman is insisting. Let's tell everybody that we live in the sea and we ain't the enemies. That's the alien stuff, like the Gipper. Yeah, that's what I call my man, Quantum of Science up in Matt up in he lives outside of Pittsburgh or outside of Philadelphia, which I don't blame him. All that murder up there, I'd be away from all that murder too. Philadelphia, I don't get how you live up there. It seems like it's hectic. So I see why you stay up at your crib because it's hectic up there. So yeah, I would say Killer of the Flower Moon and The Shelf is really good. Or The Shift, excuse me, The Shift. The Shift was really good too. I would recommend The Shift. The Shift is almost like very Matrixy. Almost, continuation of Matrix 5, maybe you could call it. A little bit of Dark City 2, a little bit of that too. So I would throw all those in there. But so those two for sure. Those two for sure. I mean, maybe you remind me of an older older, older in the year movie, maybe I forgot. Yeah, Flash was trash. I'm trying to think. Trying to look at my poster because I got another poster. I put it over there. I got Willy Wonka poster. They didn't even have Aquaman posters, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all those posters I get in a frame, and eventually, when I do the movie hour, I'm gonna make a background with all the pictures, that I've accumulated. So that's what I'm gonna do with all those. Put all those pictures in frames, and when I do movie reviews, I can put that all behind me, all those old movies. Because I got one of the Abyss. Like they're showing older movies, but you can see them up there. And again, my problem with seeing any movie but on the top screen is, they look trash. Movie screens ain't as good as your TV. So, I don't want to see it on. I mean, I understand, being at the movies and the chairs. Like I can't, and this is for men. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't fucking lay down in the movie theaters. Don't put your feet up, men. Women, I don't care what you do. But and this is sexist like a motherfucker. You gotta stay grounded. And it's I can't be like what you see when I'm at home, yes, I'm in my easy chair. But when I'm out in public and you're gonna unground yourself like that, I don't get that part. It's no way I would launch my feet up in the air and I'm somewhere. I would never get that relaxed. I would never get that relaxed. So, in your opinion, is the true man showing up there with Matrix and Dark City? Well, I mean, like the way, well, at first, like the first thing, Dark City really gave us was, changing fractals, showing you how that if they can change the fractals around you, can change your reality. And they were the first to do that. Doctor Strange, almost 20 years later, uses it, but the first was really Dark City, where they changed the fractals around you, which changed your environment. Now, it shows that it's like somewhere in the DNA, there is a code to fight. And again, it is to fight or rebel against. If there was a reality ran by so-called demigods, and maybe even less than demigods, just a civilization that was a little higher technology than another civilization, and they could put them under all kind of illusions and tests. And that was kind of but if you think of the mind that did that, it was them people's hive mind. It's kind of like the bog, the Borg. It's kind of like that hive mind is what they do when they tune. They have a hive mind. It's a one mind. And the one mind is supposed to be them peoples. Now, in the Matrix is a little different because the hive mind, these hive mind create a machine with the hive mind mentality. And it can think for all and solve all the problems, but yes, used for war. So that's where they kind of change. And so it's a continuation because in the DNA, even when it shifts from this hive, changing the reality into the hive having help with the machine. So the hive can hide behind the machine. The hive builds only the machine. And then the machine just keeps duplicating and creating life for itself out of, sucking the national resources, which finally becomes the people. Now, in Dark City, you don't really see that they need that. They just need to be. It's like it's almost like the watchers, but they're the watchers and they're the tuners, because they do both. They tune you and then they watch to see how you respond once they tune you. And then what happened over evolution, you see, the one being able to tune as well. Oh, L Reborn, Ananu Khan, what is happening? Thank you for coming. And I know to be up this late, you got to have
vision.
And I know you don't mind hitting the cosmic patio with me.
Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic slide.
And there's only one rule.
Don't touch my...
Leave that F-150 alone, baby. But I am here like for you and everyone else to take you. Oh, you say Spider-Man. Okay, yeah, Spider-Man was good. Exactly. I never got comfortable in movie theaters. I always pay attention to my surroundings and people coming in and out. Do you feel like the X-Men canceled FX series Legion was showing more truth? I remember watching the Time Lawrence scene. Yeah, Legion was deep. Legion was deep. It got corny with the singing, but Legion at the end, that time stuff they was trying to tell you, that I had recorded that with it. You know, I'm gonna see if I can get that again because that was some good stuff. The way they showed you time as hallways, that was super, super fucking deep from Legion. Legion was really deep in a lot of ways. It was some secrets, and I don't even know if the secrets is the correct word, but it was like, Legion and the Magicians coming out around the same time, and Preacher. Preacher was good too. I mean, it was like it's funny how Hollywood has to give that shit up sometime. I said I went through the desert with a come on, sing you guys. I went through the desert with a horse with no name just to get out the rain. Ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh. I'ma be mad if this beer has mason in it, 'cause I don't like that in beer. I can drink it if it's hopsy. I don't really mind that. Mm. I used to like that shit. That'd come hard to me. I went through the desert with a horse with no name just to get out the rain. I love that part. And then the harmonizing. Ooh. Ooh. Damn, I think I like this. What is this shit called? Fade that nigga shit. This is 5.8. I like this. This is by Great Lakes. Dormunder Gold Lager. This shit is good in the motherfucker. This is the color. Ah. So, it's whatever, it can take your imagination to you. Oh, yeah. Okay, bet. Yeah, Preacher was good, too. Preacher was good. Preacher is showing you how, like, what they was trying to do is, like, they was trying to artificially, so what they had to do is God, like, Preacher really put it real. So, like, they put it where the God himself made a deal and lost the deal. And he had to give him the God spark. Now, he still was God, but he didn't have that God spark, but he was still God. And it breaks down the devil, the fractals. They give the devil fractals. They have Hitler. I mean, it's really you want to get the full gamut of some mild occult. They give it to you. Because the mother was sucking souls and shit out too, so it's real deep when he has to kill his family because his aunt is sucking, stay young. She's sucking juice out of people, and the girl, the sister, the young sister that she's involved with Jesse, and it's like Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid where they show him they both was bumping the girl. It's like that with Jesse and the vampires both bumping whatever her name is. So yeah, it's worth it. All three of those shows were great. Like I said before, you want to get into magicians and learn how to use talismans and how to bring luck in and how to have an exhaust where the bad energy can go and when it misses you. That I think it's season 3 episode 3 or season 2 episode 3. It's got the dude from the Cosby Show in it. That's all I can tell you. The dude from the Cosby Show, the son-in-law, he's in it. He's in the Magician season. I think all 3 seasons. He's in it, but they highlight him one. Excuse me. And I mean, like simple things like, let me see. Like they show you simple things. How if you want to see like if a place you going in evil, you just take this calcite and you can look through this shit. And they show you like they look at like if people think why don't magic people rob banks and shit, and then they show you that the banks protect themselves with magic too, against magic motherfuckers. So I think that is deep. But something like optical calcite, you can kind of see what kind of energy is coming out of a place, and they show you that, can you see, what's this? What's these blocks up? You find the clearest part. And this is pretty clear through here. Oh yeah. Oh, the other way. There we go. This rainbows too. Very protective stone too. This clear calcite. Cheap, very inexpensive. You can get this almost clear, but optical calcite. This is how they would maneuver, to find a chart. This was when they was looking at a map and shit. This magnifies too. So, but they show this in that movie, that seeing that shit. Okay. My man was laid down. I don't even know how he got laid down. Yeah, so tomorrow for me, we've got we going to the game, and then we're going to have our Christmas party with my wife's family, my mom. So we're double cooking. As I said, I bought 4 huge cans of Sylvia's. I bought some ham hocks, and I'm going to make one big giant pot. I'm going to take that 2 of those pot, 2.5. I'm gonna save a little bit, like PJ says. The person that is a vegetarian, they don't want any greens, so she's going to get a little bowl. Yeah, let me show you. She's gonna get a bowl like this of greens, with no meat in it. It's a bowl like that. Might give her this very bowl, but that's how much, So, greens are meant to be succulent. I don't eat a lot of bacon. I don't eat, but greens, Christmas time, ham hocks. And then what's for New Year's? What they call it, gumbo. And my uncle and them would put the fish heads and everything in that shit. They'd put everything in it. Big ass fish heads like that be on the top looking at you while you're looking at the gumbo on New Year's. Oh. I've said before, there are, you can you can still find heaven and earth. They have cheap crystals too. That's what I like about them. They have a lot of, and I don't get paid anything from them. But if you don't have access and you have to send for crystals, you can look for heavenandearth.com. They have some pretty reasonable crystals, and they'll be real crystals. Sometime when you deal with China in some places, like I wouldn't get crystals from China at all. Like, especially trying to get some Motivite or something expensive, don't get it from China. Don't get Motivite from anywhere, but don't get sent Motivite. I mean, some people can get lucky and get it, but don't know the people you get this stuff from. This is such an investment. I was funny. It was like, I saw one piece, like this shit was like the top. Like if I put my piece in, it was this big for $500. A piece with only that much in it on silver. Like my wife got one. She got a small one. She paid $60. But I wonder because I bought this from my crystal shop. So I have a crystal shop too. It's called Enchanted Gardens. So as I said, okay, I didn't mean to do that. But that's one, eBay is not bad, but just don't get them from China. It's, if you don't have a local shop. Yeah. And he didn't have really what I wanted. I got crystals from my niece, but I really wanted more of these, and I'm probably gonna have to send away for him. Exquisite Crystals is another place that you can get cheap crystals from. Exquisite Crystals is another place that I've got. So I'm gonna have to hit him so I can get a bunch of more of these, because these have such high energy. I should have 6 of them, and I keep around 4 or 5. It's like I'm always losing 1 or 2. It's like these are such high moving crystals but they're very protective. As I sit here, ain't nothing coming in, because you can. As I said before, that dude was called the 13th son. He had some type of, I don't know how he did it, but he could get into motherfuckers' dreams through doing this shit. It didn't matter if you, and I don't even think, maybe he was live. I don't know if he was live or recorded, but he could fuck with you. So the same can go as, you watching this shit. If you don't really put a slight barrier up, you never know what can come back. I can't eat no gumbo with okra in it. Yeah, I don't like okra either. They have a crystal city under Antarctica. Well, we can go deeper than that. Like all this water, they know what's, under all the water. It took them a long time to admit about the water, and everybody was trying to leak it like these motherfuckers lying. It ain't that's where the water, the oil, it'll never run out. They want to tell you that water and oil will run out. Well, okay. It's water they can't even get into, because the deeper they go, the more water they find. So they had to admit, well, it's some shit under there. So, so we'll see. And so, it looks like under all this water is some type of crystal. It looks like the ultimate kind of thing that's on top of everything is kind of a crystal consciousness. And you could even say, whatever the base, see, like what we don't even consider is like, the world is alive. Consciousness is alive. And so whatever we're on, now, so like you build a core. Let me see, do I have any around here? So like you build a core of something. So there's a core of intelligence, and this core kind of, it's pushing out a lot of energy. And so what happens is this core can create life or whatever it wants to create. But after a while, as this core, and it's not as it gets old, it doesn't care. And so that's where you get these other things that can attach themselves and create illusions on this very kind of life. And so long as, and this is what, you can judge it how you seem. A lot of these planetary bodies don't seem to mind, long as it doesn't seem to harm them. So that's the thing you got to say is, you killing this thing, but this thing wouldn't make an agreement with anything that could kill it. Because they've tried to kill the planet before, and they've never been able to kill the planet. Now they tell you they can kill the things on top of the planet, but again, and so that's what appears to be. We're on intelligence that other intelligence can attach itself, and long as they don't bother it, they can't destroy it. It seems to, let the clock tick. That's the best way I can put it. They seem to just let the clock tick. And so we know that so it's nothing that they can get on that can destroy it. And as I said before, when we look at what the Planet of the Apes is and what who the apes are, and what to them and why they wrote all this doom and gloom. It's the elitists. The elitists don't ever want to go through the French Revolution again. So they found ways to try to stop that from ever happening. So they've disguised these governments under the world is never for the people. The people are fooled. I mean, you can say anything you want about Democrats, but the fact remains the Ku Klux Klan was Democrat dominated in its creation. In some kind of way, they fooled people. They fooled people through Eisenhower, Nixon. Barry Goldwater is really one of the people that turned, melanated people against the Republicans, was Barry Goldwater. And, he didn't win. And it almost seemed like that was his job, was to turn him. I mean, you look at like North Carolina. I was telling you the history of how they overthrew Wilmington, and you look at a dude like Jesse Helms, that was senator for at least 20, 30 years. He was the Republican picked up in the 1980s, and it hadn't been a Republican that had won since Reconstruction. And here's this segregationist, and the Republicans were never about segregation. But here's this segregationist Jesse Helms. So it's like the Republican Party totally turned around. They showed that they was like the Democrats. And so, it made niggas become Democrats. Everybody LBJ and Kennedy. Kennedy first and LBJ. And everybody was fooled by Obama. Obama fooled everybody. They have a crystal. So, and that's, I'll say, like, consciousness is the ultimate beauty. That's where all the knowing comes from. That's the one thing that passes from generation to generation in the DNA is consciousness. It's things that are revealed to you as you mature that comes directly from the DNA of your family. And this is when they talk about astro what is it called astro akashic records. I mean, it's in you already. Like when everybody explains it, like you can go into a library, hallways. I've said mine is like sometime where I had to motherfucking climb on top of this old paper press and had to watch mine and making them go backward and forward to look for what I'm trying to find. But what you're really looking at is you're going into your DNA and pulling out what was given to you. And they want to suppress that. I mean, that's that they want to suppress that. That's why it's so much outside of you. That's why they want you to think about everything outside of you instead of what's in you. And that's where all the distractions come from. And again, it's like, this is where I have disagreements, and it has to be like this. Okay. So again, if you feel it's flat plane, then always be in that flat plane. Understand that is where you are coming from. When you talk to people, understand. And so if the person doesn't quite understand you, you might have to go back into round earth so they understand you. And then, from your knowing, you live the flat plane. And even if whatever you feel about civilization was before this civilization, whatever you feel, then you can go from that frame of mind. But remember, to be relatable, you still have to relate this on this type of thinking and consciousness. Now, you can say that that's where you come from, and I have no argument with that. Okay, if that's where your knowing comes from, then that's how I can deal with you. When I listen to you, I say, okay, I'm that. I put myself there where you're at. And it's no attack. I don't like. I'm not going to attack anybody because I'm beyond that. I don't have to attack that at all. I can still relate. And I've come at it with ego, and I'm sorry. I'm human. I'd be tripping sometimes too. Because it's value in the learning and people getting out how they feel and where they're at when what they're telling you, where they're at when they're telling you this. And that's how you relate to them. And that's it gets into it. It's not good, bad. It's neutral. Let me stand up. Give me a second. Let me push back my chair and stand up. And I got the frozen. Damn, my outfit matches. I'm stiff, even though I'm gotta show you my Christmas gift from my daughter. I got the frozen pajamas. Oh, I am in the spirit, baby. Oh. Okay. Get it all out. So I'm not gonna go too much longer because I am getting up super early in the morning. I am definitely getting up early. And we're gonna be down to that motherfucker because the weather's nice. Let me see let's look up the weather, y'all. What's the weather gonna be like? I'll go downstairs and grub. I'll go downtown and grub. That's why it's still warm. I don't know if she has the fireplace on because it gets hotter than a bitch up here when she has the fireplace on because it's directly under me. Damn, heavy rain tomorrow. What time? Oh, it ain't gonna rain till we coming out. So when we come out, it's gonna be raining. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. I don't know if my hat gonna want to deal with that though. So I might not wear my Kango. I was gonna wear my Kango, but damn, if I gotta walk a little ways and it's gonna be raining when we get out, that wool, I just take it off. Let me see. I'm not gonna wear a hoodie tomorrow. Oh yes, I am. I'm gonna have a hoodie on. Good. Okay, cool. Cause I'm wearing that Kango, that Laylock Kango. Oh, that shit is so stiff. Oh, we if it ain't gonna rain till after the game, then we're cool. We're really cool. I'm trying to think though. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, it's gonna be 45, but rainy. Yeah, it's definitely gonna rain later in the day, but nobody's like really driving far away. And then Monday, maybe rain. Let me see what's it saying for Monday. It's gonna rain all day Monday. That's fine. I'd rather rain than snow. It's gonna be 50 degrees, so I can fuck with 50 degrees and driving. I got no problem. I got no problem with 50 degrees and driving. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't share it with y'all. But this is what it is right now. It's still 45. And as you see here, yeah, so the game is here. I'm not getting out until here. Yeah, I'm not getting out until there. So, and I got a hoodie, so I better put that wool hat under the hoodie. So it'll be raining when we get out. We ain't gonna have far to go. So, yeah, this is my week. See, no snow. No snow, y'all. No snow. Ooh, what are those? What are those? What are those? They're always trying to get me. They try to get me with the Nike commercials. These NXTs, I don't like the NXTs. Why is it just this? What's this? Oh, I can't reach it. Okay. Oh, they reached it. Who do you get it from? What we got here? What do we have here? Let's see. What do they say about it? What do they give us? Here we go. What do y'all think? Since this is an ad, what do you guys think? So you get 7 grams for 1,400, which is gold is 2,000 a gram, or 2,000 an ounce. 2,000 an ounce. So you're only getting 7 grams of gold. You're getting diamonds. 14 karat is the metal. What is the not bad. H. You're getting an H diamond, but you're only getting SI and clarity. Pave, a lot of pave. I don't know. Here I go. It's like these kind of rings you see in pawn shops all the time. You look in pawn shops, it'd be this kind of shit. It's like they could get this kind of shit. And then, what is this one? It doesn't even tell you what color. They just give you the clarity. SI don't tell you. Invisible pave. Okay, invisible. What's happening? Big P, you got to send your email. I read a story this week, what they can mean the 49ers could be in this year's Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, I put it up there before. Okay. Let me collapse that. There we go. Let me bring this over. Here we go. No, new timeout. Okay. Here goes. This should be it. Eagles are the bomb at gmail.com. And it should be in the show too. It should be in the show. You look into the show, it should be into that too. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's it. And you can hit me anytime. I'm not hard. And I know it's a couple people I need to call back. But L Reborn Amaroon Khan, yeah, let me know. That's my email. I mean, I don't sell stones. I can get them pretty cheap, and I don't really need to make a profit. You know, so if you have problems getting them, you hit me because they're like, I'm gonna give you an example. I bought my niece a ligum. Let me show you what a ligum is. This is a Shiva ligum. I prefer the black ones because the original ones was black. When you see these as brown, they didn't even let these come in the country until about 4 or 5 years ago. They only let the brown ones come in, but the black ones have a little more energy, I see. And they're porous. And so these are, born of the water. And yeah, these, but it's not quite this big, but it was, let me get it. Let me see. So let me see. This one might have been the most expensive one, but it was only like $7. It was like half of this, like there's like about that much. It's half of this. It was $7. And then I gave her some Sharite. Now, again, the ligum can take a lot of anxiety out of you, doubt, fear. It really is good at that. It is really like if you feel you've been spiritually or mentally harmed, it is good at of absorbing a lot of that for you and just release it when you're done. Why I gave her Sharite. This is great, a great companion to see, to like, I am a member of the Skull Library. So I always have that. But what I think from that, I think this helped me put the Skull Library in my bag. I think this really helped me with that. This is a stone that it helps you analyze if you're bringing in the right kind of thing. If you're bringing in what you're studying is the right kind of thing, it can go, how deep of even what you're doing, people you bring in your life. This is a great companion for that. So I bought her that. My third one is lepidolite. I bought her a lepidolite wand. And again, that wand, like it was only $30. I got her three crystals. And the Sharite wasn't much bigger than this, and it was maybe $6.50. Yes, so the Sharite wand was the most expensive, and I don't have any Sharite. It's in my bathroom. Or excuse me, lepidolite. The lepidolite is in my bathroom. But I got a wand, and I love giving people zoolites. And the zoolites, which again is, apatite, pedalite, stibolite are all high-powered zoolites. Lepidolite is one of the zoolites that's not quite as strong, but yet it'll fill your heart with love, and it will touch. It's like your level. It will give you energy to your level. Like some of these other ones, will kind of take you higher when you may not be prepared to be higher. That's how this energy can hit you. That energy is, and what it does too. And what I love about all zoolites is they are erasers. They literally take the negative off of you. I mean, you need something, attachment or something off of you. These are called master scrubbers. And so spiritually, whatever you're going through, if you need something off of you, zoolites will do it. And you have to, tell them, this is what I need. I need this shit right here off me. And zoolites is good for that. Like when I mentioned them witches, and I'm starting to see one of the witches' pictures too much, and I'm over it. I'm over it.
So y'all stay in your places. Y'all rich where y'all at. Y'all don't need me. Well, I'll probably be on next week. Sunday night maybe. I got a lot to do Monday morning. Tomorrow night, I don't know. I'll probably make videos and then once I get home, release them about the game and shit. That's probably what I'll do. I'll start, making videos tomorrow and releasing them when I'm up in that bitch. So that's what, I'm doing tomorrow. So I'm gonna cut it. I hope, the breakdown. Thank you, Jeffrey Lane. Thank you, Jeffrey Lane. For your opinion. I appreciate your opinion too. I was entertained. My daughter liked the movie. My wife liked the movie Aquaman. I was entertained. Yeah, I did like Spider-Man, but I just think Killer the Flower Moon was just, I loved it. Oh, you talking about Spider-Man, the brother. Okay, I got it. You talking about that Spider-Man. Okay, it hit me, that one. Yeah, that was a good movie too. I thought Killer the Flower Moon was better. Far as serious movie, I thought it was better. That's all. Spider-Man good. You talking about, the that Spider-Man with the Spider-Man wear the Jordans. And I'm gonna just tell you again, it's like my mother's 82 years old. And, like she had said some years ago about my grandfather, which I've shared with y'all many times, how my grandfather said, everybody I know, all my friends are dead. This was after his wife, my great grandmother died. He's like, everybody I know is dead. And this is despite family being all around him, but when you got great grandchildren, you might not really know them that good. Like one of the last times I saw my grandfather, and the only time some of my children got to see him, like my two oldest children, my two oldest sons remember him, but the other ones were little. But the last time I had them all together, and my 20-year-old was still crawling. This is how long ago it was, 20 some years ago. But we was all in front of my grandfather, and I had my four sons stand there and shake his hand, hug him, made him get in line, and I wanted them to touch him. Shook his hand, gave him a hug in line. And I even put the baby on him. It's like, you got to shake the baby's hand too. And like, when my grandmother kissed my 28-year-old son when he was 2, that kiss goes across generations. That kiss comes back from generations. It's like all her family kissed him. I'll give it out. I'll give it out. It's like all her family kissed him. That's how it works. Her whole line kissed him and say, we with you too. And I've told you before, I called upon my great-great-great-grandmother. Her name was Rachel Brewer Macon. And all of a sudden, I'm just, I call out to her, and she immediately comes to me and hugs me. And not only does she hug me, whatever nation she came from. And all I said is Blackfoot, just the way the trails came into the way everyone surrounded me. All these ancestors came to me and hugged me too. They was like, okay, we got somebody that's us, that recognizes us. And just like that man back there, nobody really fucks with him. I got this shit up every day. I got a statue of him. I got a couple statues of him. Because I want to think about him every day. Because he is one of the greatest men that lived on this earth. And one of the few can say, I was taught what the old men was taught, and I was taught what the Mayans was taught. And he tried to leave the art to motivate us. And so somewhere it was somebody that knew some of that. And they was waiting for me to finally tap into it. And that's how it works. You got to find, and I'll say, I'll have to say Turtle Gang. He was right when he told me. It's like the Time Walking Papers would change my life. And he was absolutely right. And this is a relationship from Facebook. We ain't close. And I mean, I have nothing negative to say about that brother. Only, when you hear me, it's just full support. But what he gave me is more important than what anybody else has ever given me. And he said, I want somebody that understands this. Well, not only do I understand it, I practice it. And it opened the world up. But it pointed. I mean, I was always given this. This came even before the Time Walking Papers. For some reason, this Monkey King stuff, this Virgia. I don't know why I was given this, but they gave it to me. And it led me, the Time Walking Papers led me to this. And this has opened up all that stuff, the omen and all that. And again, look who's on the cover. Starface Flower, the Great Pakal, they call him. Kanich Janib. And again, it's the omen or Omek, jaws of the jaguar. You see? He's in the jaws of the jaguar. This is a representation of the jaguar. He's in the jaws, but he also gets the Quasiquoto and Hanukkah. Hanukkah. That's not yin and yang, it's older. That's Hanukkah. Maker and mover of all things. Hanukkah. So, that's how I've acquired these gifts, if you want to call them. I love this beer. Man, this shit is good. I might have to go in the morning and get some of this shit. Great Lakes Dothmunder Gold. This shit is good in the motherfucker. Might have to go get some more. Oh, that's good. And, that's what the Kundalini is, too. The Kundalini can be looked at as a type of dragon energy where, you're bringing it from your bowels up and you want it to go in both directions. Reading the one cat, that Ancestor Production hit me on, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the cat's name, but he would say, the way it came into him, if it came in too hot or too cold, it could fuck you up. So a lot of them Indians, dude, bringing in this Kundalini, some of it could fry the insides of you. It hasn't hit me like that at 62. The energy that I get from being spiritual hasn't harmed me at all. I've never been harmed. It's like my wife says, some of these quests is fucked up. I mean, it ain't like, you get in these quests and all of them is great. It's some of them where, you just, you get stamped out. I mean, it's sometimes this shit is really horrible. I mean, I've said this many, many times. Some of this shit is horrible. It's like you can't even cry. Like Sly Stone says, I'm all cried out. It hits you like that. It's like, we're teaching you. You got to look at all this shit. And sometimes you're like, I don't want to look at all this stuff. You've got to experience it. And it's even, when I see the replays or as the Gipper calls them, the bonuses, it's still, that negative shit sometimes comes in hard. And not negative from a force. It's just some of these experiences. It ain't just, going on a lotus plant. Like some people make you think this shit is just, going on a lotus plant is good. It's not always like that. You hit a certain band and it's like it show you a whole different kind of way that is not so uplifting. That goes with it. But I mean, there's a lesson even in that. I'm not saying that this is less. Because even in that, I'm holding it. I'm looking at myself and I'm like, hey, it looks like he about to roll a blunt. Why don't the nigga hit the blunt? It comes with a lesson, though. And that's the good thing about it. There is a lesson in it. And what time okay. I'm going to have to cut it short because I got to get up. So that's my little breakdown. Thank you so much for coming. Tomorrow, maybe. It's hard to say, y'all. I might be so high that, I don't know. But thank you guys for the support this year. Thank me. What has I got? 2,030 subscribers. Took me forever. Took me 4 years to go from 1,100 to 1,000. Took me like 3 years for some reason. But that's where it's at, and that's okay. You know, I don't have to come on here and beg. I don't have to come on here and try to manipulate. I just come on here and give you my own knowing. That's it. And I see popular culture and I try to give my spin on what the culture is. Oh yeah, and Lorenzo, I'll say this. Yeah, definitely the cities have everything to do with it. Yeah, and I'll say, the way it looks, I would say the Eagles ain't gonna go that far. I think that's what they're setting up. They're setting the Eagles up for it looks like a big collapse. And then they want to blame it on Hurd, and it's Hurd's job because he's been hurt most of the season, but it's Hurd's job. It's that kind of bullshit. But I've also said I wouldn't be surprised if it was Dolphins and Eagles, Tua versus Hurd. I wouldn't be surprised of that. So, well, y'all, I gave you an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. I do need to get some rest. I got a busy motherfucking day because I'm going to be up in that motherfucking U.S. Bank when you see the Lions at noon playing the Vikings. No, I'm going to be up in that motherfucker. I'm not a New York rapper or a LA gang banger. I'm just an old school Detroit crack slinger. Make more money, more money. My pockets like sunshine. They always sunny. Thank you for the rap.